What's up, y'all? I'm back. It's been like a month. So I got Mr. Brandon on the call. He just got back from traveling the world because that's what he does. So, Brandon, how and why did you choose insurance? And how long have you had the agency and about how big is it now?
Yeah, how and why? I've been doing it since I was a teenager. I kind of always wanted to do something entrepreneurial. I think ever since I was in high school, I was thinking big. And then my dad owns an agency since 1997, so I saw the opportunity, and I think it was just me being decisive. Like I just wanted to run with it, and I got good at it. So that would probably be the why. It wasn't anything too deep. It was just me being decisive and wanted to just start going with something that had a lot of upward mobility and opportunity to scale. And then the size right now, so we're at about 7.3 million. We just got approved for a merge for June 1st for about a little under 4. So hopefully by, after that, we'll probably be somewhere in like the 11 and a half, 12 range size wise. And then the team, we got 5 sales agents, 4 service agents, and a service manager included in there. And then we also have like a sister agency that kind of work in tandem. And there's another 2 sales agents over there, and then 3 service agents.
Sweet. All right, marketing. So,
Yep.
about how much do you spend in cash a month on marketing, and about how many items on average does that collect?
Yeah, so we probably spend between 5 and 6 thousand a month, just strictly internet leads. That probably accounts for maybe a third of our written business, maybe a little bit less. A lion's share of it is our referral partners. We work, heavily with loan officers. I've been fortunate to put a lot of work into that over the years and develop some pretty solid relationships. I have a couple, higher producing loan officers, and then probably 15, 20 that are doing a good amount of business. So that's a significant amount. And then I'd say the other third to 25% of the written business is going to be the organic stuff, like the win backs, the cross sells, the requotes. I think I kind of learned on that. Like when I worked for my father as an LSP, he wasn't buying any leads, so like I had to kind of learn how to be very resourceful, and I kind of have trained my team in that way, and we really mined the book like a lot. We read a lot of umbrellas, crossed a lot of pubs. So I would say the money I spend is 5 to 6 thousand in marketing. I spend a lot of time with the referral partners, which is money as well, I guess. But that only accounts probably for about a third of the actual business.
So, how many items on average are they giving you? Total,
The internet leads,
just everything in general. What's your average item production?
everything in general. So right now, so far this year, our average is around 175 items a month. In 2023, we were around 150, 160 items. Our goal after the merge, because we're bringing these 2 new sales agents on, is to kind of average in that 2 to 225 range, preferably higher, but that's kind of worst case scenario where we want to be.
Beautiful. All right, so you got a sales team. How do you hold them accountable?
I think a lot of things, but I think the two most important things are the weekly coaching calls. So I started doing those back in September after a couple of the conferences. It just kind of was something I took back with me, and I made it a habit. So weekly, get on a coaching call, and we really get on. I look for a couple wins. I want them to tell me about something good that they did, maybe a challenge. So I kind of give them the floor for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we go and we'll pull a call. We'll role play, high intensity workout, right? Run through it a couple of times, find something they can improve on. And then I really love to spot check quotes. It's a really great thing to do. Like have them share their screen, pull up Advisor Pro, and just look at the last 10 people they quoted and ask them what happened. Pull up the quotes, go into them. You'll find so many things to coach and train on. And not just from like a sales perspective, but like a compliance perspective too. Like we're human beings, we're not perfect. So I feel like there's so much learning opportunity in those coaching calls. And I think now that they know I'm doing those every week and I'm listening to their calls, like their own accountability has increased.
I think everybody needs to rewind that and listen to that and rewind that and listen to that because that's the key to shit. Entrepreneurship. So what does your day-to-day look like as the agency owner of your size now, and then eventually what's going to look like June 1st?
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, we're pretty much all remote. My day, usually starts probably like most people's, just in the emails, trying to get rid of all those and delegate them and everything. I would say a lot of coaching calls, right? Like, so I'm spending a lot of time. I'm fortunate that my service manager has taken over the coaching calls on the service team. So I've really tried to relinquish control there. I think I know this isn't a long video, so just the main point I think that the difference maker is that I need to continue to relinquish control of the little things. I think being a $4, $5, $6 million agency and kind of coming from my background of like knowing all this stuff, like I'm obsessive, so I want to try and control everything. But if if I'm going to continue to scale and get to 12 to 15 to 20 million, like I literally have to stop doing that or I'm going to drive myself crazy and it's going to actually like stop me from being able to do it. So that's my biggest challenge, and what I'm focused on my day to day is like stop obsessing over the little stuff and keep delegating it and trying to elevate so that I can focus on the coaching, the training. I'd love to do some bigger AFS stuff. Like now that we're scaling, like to get to 10 times PIF, like it's just getting harder and harder, and doing that with life insurance is like nearly impossible. So that's something else I think I need to kind of take more responsibility of. So it's going to be coaching, training, AFS, and life stuff. And then the referral partners. That's another piece I got to keep pushing, because people say you can't scale that. You know, I could kind of argue with that. I think you could do a lot with it. I think you would surprise yourself, especially if you can get maybe one or two of your team members on board with the referral partners, with the loan officers. You'd be surprised. Sometimes they're better than you at building those relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. So you obsess over all these little things, but I just want to point out he does not obsess over a battery and a smoke detector, as you guys can hear in the background. I had to get that in there. Finally, the last.
I had one battery left, and I put it in the downstairs one that's been going for 8 months. So I ordered it on Amazon. It's coming in today. All right. So I'll send you guys a picture of it once it's in a video that it's not beeping.
Need that underneath this post. And then finally, the best piece of advice you've ever gotten, and how can that be applied to business?
Oh man, best piece of advice. I think honestly, like it's probably from my man Craig. I mean, I think he's always blown my head up. You know, it's just ever since the first time I got into the platform, you know, years ago, and seeing just the big numbers from the mega agency size, I didn't think that was possible. To him challenging me just with little stuff of like, well, you know, why that number? Why not this number? You know, and or, you know, hey Craig, I want to hire 2-3 people this year. Well, why not 8? Variable comp, it's a math equation. Why wouldn't you go for 8 or 10? So I think that's the best piece of advice to keep applying. Like, yes, I want to be satisfied, and I don't want to like live in like just constant, you know, like I can never be, you know, fulfilled. So be fulfilled, but I think it's important to continue to challenge yourself that like doing the 5x or 10x doesn't actually take that much more effort. It's more of a mental thing. So keep challenging yourself that there's not much of a difference between the person that's doing 500 items a month and 50. It's just the actual mindset of like they're multiplying it, right? It's just a math equation.
Beautiful. There's a great book I'm reading. 10x is easier than 2x. I don't remember the person, but it's a dope book.
Okay.
It speaks to exactly what you're saying. So,
Send it to me.
I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Justin.